Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ericson Presents Mixing Tutorials. And today I want to talk to you about five EQs that I like to use. Now these EQs are my go-to ones. There are a lot more EQs that I do actually have, but these are the five that I would say I use the most. So yeah, before we get started, just so you know, I do offer mixing and mastering services. For my mastering, I will leave the link in the description below, and there is a way you can get a master done for free. So go ahead and click on that link and holla at your boy, and we can get your music sounding a lot more balanced and louder. So that's what we're gonna do. Anyhow, let's get to this video. So today we're just gonna cut right to it. The first EQ plugin that I like to use is the Pro-Q3 by FabFilter. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So this is probably one you've seen around a lot. I like to use it because it's very surgical and you can do so many different things with it. You have all of these different slopes. Obviously the bell is the most one that most people understand, how you can change the width, the size, you can cut, low cut, high cut, all that stuff. It has everything. I just like it. I like that you have the ability to visually see. You can also hit this button right here, and then you can find out what note on the piano the frequency is. So that's pretty dope too. So yeah, I use this very for surgical purposes mainly. Like if there's a problem, there's something I need to take care of, something's not right, this is one of the plugins that I will grab. Now there are other EQ plugins, but I just like this one. So we're just talking about the ones I like. So I'm gonna turn it on. So yeah, this beat right here, I noticed that it wasn't really balanced that well, so I just took this and boosted the top end. That's all I did. So yeah, it's that simple. Let's pull it up on the vocal so you guys can see what it is that I did there. In this vocal, as you can see, I'm doing surgical things. I'm taking out frequencies that I felt needed to be taken out. This is something that people would probably do with the Soothie plugin, the Soothie 2. I said in a previous video that a lot of these plugins, they're made to deal with problems that people don't know how to go and figure out on their own. So then they'll go buy a plugin like Soothie to do that. Well, that's a good thing if you want to speed up your workflow, but if you're not trying to speed up your workflow, but you're trying to solve a problem that you don't know the answer to, then in my opinion, that is a problem, because you want to know how to deal with the problem. So if you're going to use Smoothie, be like, look, this is one thing I don't feel like doing, so I'm just going to throw that plugin on. But you still need to know how to deal with the problem. If you can deal with that problem, you can mix in any situation. So that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. So anyways, let me turn the vocal on.
Girl, she's a bad one, standing across the room.
Hold on. I'm trying to make this empty. Okay, here we go.
She's a bad one. I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
Okay, so that is before anything is on it now. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to say this so it actually makes the most sense. When you watch tutorials and if someone gives you things that they're doing in their plugin chain, or why they're doing, like when they're doing something and they're telling you why they're doing something to whatever source that they're on, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Meaning You don't look at what I just did here, copy it, and then apply it to yours and then move on, because you're still not going to have it right. Everything is custom when it comes to mixing. If you want it to sound amazing, it has to be custom. It can't be some universal setting you're gonna apply to the vocals that's always gonna make it sound good. If somebody's telling you that, if somebody says this is what you should do in your vocal, then I would take with a grain of salt, just because that person should know that everybody's vocal is going to be different and everybody's source material is going to be different. And I'm going to explain to you how you can just easily tell if your vocal is different from my vocal. So let me have technical difficulties. Look at this vocal right here, okay? If you notice, there is not a whole lot of up and downs in this vocal. The reason why is because when I recorded this vocal, I actually had EQ and compression going into my interface, okay? So I'm not going to have to do as drastic of things because of that. So you have to understand, if you don't have EQ and compression going on when you're tracking your vocals and they're a little more looser, these things that I'm saying might not apply to your situation. So that's the point that I'm trying to make here. It's just everything is situational, but you just need to, that's why it's more important to understand how to use the tools as opposed to just copying what somebody else is doing. Okay? If you can get this down and understand this is just what I like to do, then you'll go far. I know that was that was a long commercial break, but it just needed to be said. All right, so without anything going on, the vocal doesn't really sound super bad.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
I mean, it's almost like the vocal it's sitting in there. It's not bad, because mainly I did some things on the way in. All right, so I'm gonna turn this EQ on and off.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one, standing across the room.
So if you notice, it just got a little cleaner, just a little bit cleaner. Yeah, so this is one of the plugins that I like to use. That is plugin number 1. Now let's move on. Okay, before I go, the reason why I am cutting in these places is because these are places where I'm hearing problems. So if you just boost, let's just boost this place right here just to give you a quick rundown.
I've been on this flow for a long time.
I didn't want that in there, so that's why I just cut it, which is what I'm trying to do right now. This computer is like running the screen flow is not happy with my computer. Anyway, point is,
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
Turn that down, 5 dB, just to.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
All right, so yeah, that's what you do. Boost until you go find the problem that you're listening for, and then when you find it, cut it out. All right, so let's move on to the next EQ that I like to use. And this one I don't use anymore. This actually is an old session I just opened up. But the reason why I did use this in the past is because I wasn't 100% sure on what the EQ was doing. I wasn't sure how to make the EQ do what I wanted it to do. So I learned a lot by using this one. This is the Eiosis. Is that how you say it? I'm not really here to teach you guys how to speak English, but I believe I got this with the Slate Digital bundle. I think the Everything bundle, I think this came with it. But what I liked about this one was their presets actually were good to me because they gave you things like low clean, bass, body, density, presence, brightness, soften. Okay, this is just all for a vocal, which is pretty dope. Each one of these things, they have their own personal presets for all of this. So, that to me made it easier to work a preset. I think that's how preset should be. It should tell you what this knob does, and then you can have more or less of it. That to me, it's just not like a vocal preset. This is what the vocal presets are. This is what you can do. You want more bass, then you boost here. You want less bass, you boost here. You want more body to the vocal, but all it's really doing is putting it in the frequency where those things live. Okay, so that's why I was using this one.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
You see it came to life a little more.
Sexy girl, she's a bad one, standing across the room.
So yeah, that to me is a good way to learn what the EQ does. Do I use this anymore? No, but I still think that this one is important, especially if you are beginning to understand how to use an EQ. Okay, your EQ is your friend. A lot of EQ will do a lot of the heavy lifting if you do it right. As you can see, I haven't added any. Well, there's compression going on the vocal going in, but let's just turn all of what I did on and off.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl.
Okay, let's turn it back on.
She's a bad one, standing across the room.
Now that just added volume. It added clarity. It pushed the vocal a little further in the front. That is just the power of what an EQ can do. So there you have it. Those are my first two EQs. Now let's talk about my third EQ. Now this is more on the mastering side, but you can still get a lot done without it just being on the master side. But this is what I like to use on the master side. So let's go ahead and hit this, turn this EQ on, turn it to the black. I only use it on the black side because of the teacher who taught me how to master. He does the same thing, but I mean, it's all taste. Do what you want to do. Anyhow, bam. I use this in almost like maybe 50% of my masters when I'm reaching to get something done. So let's turn it on.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad.
All right, so what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to boost somewhere between 2K to 4K is what I am looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this Q all the way down. I'm going to turn this all the way up. Now we're going to hear what the compressor is doing. And let's get it, I don't know. Let's just try here, see what happens.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl.
Okay, so I'm gonna open it all the way up, and now you're gonna hear all this information because I'm boosting 15 decibels right now.
I've been on this flow for a long time.
That's where a lot of clarity is gonna come from. So now let's just bring it all the way back down to 0.
I've been on this flow
all the way up.
For a long time. Last call is coming soon.
So let's find some place in there.
But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one.
All right, so let's A and B it.
I've been on this flow
Before.
for a long time.
After.
Last call is coming soon.
It's just like it just steps it forward just a little bit. So in mastering, like this is something I would do, like just to step it forward just a little bit.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
Oh, I know I forgot to say it, but it's the SSL E series channel trip. This is the one I'm using, the UAD version. Would this work with the Waves version? Probably.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl, she's a bad one.
So how I like to use this one is I don't have EQs that I don't do the same thing every single time. I kind of just, what do I need in this particular moment? And then I'll reach for a tool that I know that can handle what it is that I need. And this one is one of those, it's almost like I don't really do a lot of surgical things with it, but I can either do surgical or I could, do a little boosting and creative stuff. So that's why I like this one. Let's see the top end.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl, she's a bad one, standing across the room.
Like this is dope. I mean, I don't really need it like that, but like if you just ever felt like you put something on a plug-in EQ compressor, whatever the case may be, you put it on and then you're like, I don't really know what it's doing. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I'm just moving stuff around. Like boost it very extreme so you can hear exactly what it's doing. And then once you figure out like, oh, this is what I'm listening for, take it all the way back and then just kind of blend it to taste. Like it's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's gonna be that simple. All right, so what is this, number 3? Yeah, okay, so that's plugin number 3. Now let's go to my 4th one. Now this one I use every master. I do use this on some vocals sometimes. It just depends on what the vocal needs. But what I like about this is the Pultec, the UAD version, is when you turn it on, it's already giving you signal that's boosting. So nothing's happening. Everything's to 0.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
It's already just giving you extra. Like, of course the lawn man wants to come, but you know what? That's okay. We still gonna keep it going. All right, so I'll just show you some of the things I like about this one. I like the low end boost for sure.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl, she's a bad one, standing across the room.
So I like the low end boost, and I also like the high frequency boost. I love the high frequency boost. Once again, we're gonna just crank that all the way up.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
8K is kind of harsh. 10K.
But then I see this sexy girl, she's a bad one.
10K to me has the most information, so I'm gonna take it and dial it back.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl.
Look how, y'all hear that? Y'all hear how muddy it sounds?
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one.
Yeah. All right. So let's try the Pultec on the vocals. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now I have that on the vocal channel.
I've been on this flow for a long time.
So let's say what do I want more of? A little more.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl.
So how this works is this is boosting 200. This is, I mean, it would be dope if they have like little boxes around it so you can understand what goes with what. But I mean, this plugin used to intimidate me, but now it's the easiest thing to use. So this is gonna be for here. This is gonna be for a dip. So this is the only part that's taking away frequencies. And then this is another one that's gonna be boosting. This little section right here is together. This section right here is together. And then this section is together. So it's pretty simple. It's not that hard. But yeah, this is for a vocal. So let's see if we can get a little high end out of it just to see what this plugin can do.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one, standing across the room. I gotta make my way. While I'm walking, I'm hoping I think of the perfect words to say. I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon.
Yeah. So yeah, that is what you can do for on the vocal. This is why I love using that plugin. So that would be number 4. And then for my 5th and final, let's go to my good. Now this one, hold on, I'm over typing, spelling wrong. I use this one every single mix that I master. This is on it. It is now. This is the guy who taught me how to master. He was very good at teaching how to use different tools, but this is the one tool that he was very adamant about getting. It was one of those things like, if this is the one plugin you just need to get. Just get it and you're going to be happy. And of course I'm going to listen. And this is why. So this is the Clariphonic Parallel Equalizer. This is how I can get a nice high end without it sounding too blown up. All right, so let's start with the focus actually. So I'm going to turn it in. Now mind you, this is on the master. So this is doing everything.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one, standing across the room.
All right, let's turn up the clarity side.
I gotta make my way. While I'm walking, I'm hoping I think of the perfect words to say. Excuse me, miss, I know I do not know ya, but I know what I came here for, and that's you. So take my hand. I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one, standing across the room.
All right, yeah.
I gotta make my way. While I'm walking, I'm hoping I think.
That's still a little too bright for me. So let's go ahead and just bring it down a little bit.
I've been on this flow
but then again, I'm listening to headphones. I don't really do this in headphones, but just for the sake of the video.
I've been on this flow for a long time. Last call is coming soon. But then I see this sexy girl. She's a bad one.
And bam, there you have it. Those are my 5. Now, are there other EQs that I have? Yes, there are. I have tons of EQs, but these are the EQs that I tend to go to. So technically it's really only 4 because the other EQ I don't use as much anymore, like I said before, but it's still good enough for me to add to the list because it will help you out a tremendous amount. So there you have it. Once again, if you need some mastering, go ahead and click the link in the description and follow that to my Sound Better profile and just check out some of the before and afters. But anyhow, other than that, I'm out. I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.